empowered people make informed decisions that lead to living a life without regret. This is Sara and Shawna Woods from Atlanta Divorce Law Group, and this is the Happily Ever After Divorce Podcast. Welcome to the Happily Ever After Divorce Podcast. I am Sara with the Atlanta Divorce Law Group, and I'm joined by our managing partner, Shawna Woods. Hey, Shawna.
Hey, Sara.
Shawna, today we're going to talk about goal setting during divorce, after divorce. So you want to get us started there?
Absolutely. You know, when you think about goal setting, it's like, what exactly is that? What do you mean goal setting? And then how do you do it once you set the goal? So I guess that's the question. What is it?
So I think a goal is just a determined decision to move in a direction. And the first part, the most important part, is the decision, right? Like, you are probably stuck until you've made a decision on anything. Whether you're looking at a menu, trying to decide what to order for lunch, or you are thinking about, do I want to stay in the home, leave the home? Do I want to leave the state? Do I want to stay in the state after divorce? At the end of the day, you are in a point of stagnation until you hit a decision point. The goal is the measuring stick of helping you decide, what should my decision be? Because without a goal, how do you end up deciding, right? So if I'm looking at a menu and I am stuck between the salad or the burger, I can go back to my goal of what are my goals in order to not be stuck on that menu anymore and make a decision. Maybe my goal for that day is indulgence and enjoying myself and having a cheat day from my regular healthy diet. Then great, the burger is the decision to go with. Or maybe I have a goal of fitting into my favorite jeans before the end of the week. Then that helps the decision that, no, I need to stick to the salad. So that's, dumbing down the bigger concept of what is the point of a goal. A goal is supposed to help you reach a decision. And a decision gets you into movement rather than being stuck in stagnation in a place of limbo, right?
So can a goal be, I don't want to be here. I don't know where I want to be, but I don't want to be here.
I think that we can definitely start with that goal, because that goal will at least put you in a state of, hopefully, curiosity of, where do I want to be?
Right.
And that will start movement on its own. Sometimes, even if you don't know what it is you want, but you know what you don't want, what you're in, start moving. Even if it's in the wrong direction, just start moving, and then you can pivot at some point. But I think that is so important to make the movement work, start the movement by making some sort of a decision. I know I don't want to live in this house. I don't know where I want to live. I don't know what my end goal is for my future home, but I can't be in this house anymore. I feel stuck here. Get yourself in an apartment, get yourself into another house. It doesn't have to be the home, but move, because the movement will lead you to the next thing and the next thing, and eventually to the place of desire. And that's what our ultimate goal with goal setting is to get to that ultimate place of desire. Because really, at the end of the day, the bigger measuring stick for what is my goal is, what's my purpose?
Nice.
Right? What's my purpose? What do I want to be about? What do I want to do? And then if I'm going to even take that further, the purpose is supposed to serve, in my mind, your obituary. And that sounds very morbid, but when you're on your deathbed, what are the last few words you want to hear from your loved ones? What do you need to know to take your last breath comfortably, right? That is the ultimate purpose. And when you know that, then you can make shorter term goals from that place. Like, for instance, your ultimate goal in life is, let's say, I'll share mine here. I want to have healthy, successfully minded children. That's what I need to hear before I take my last breath. Whether it's my husband putting me, staying with me, or whoever, that's what I want to hear before I'm done. So what are some goals from this age I am now until hopefully a long life that I will live that will get me there? But every goal I set from here on out is weighed against that purpose that is to serve me as my last moment on this earth. Now that's a very high level visual thinking, but how do we kind of take it down several layers to your current state of where are you now? One way I do this, I think it's very important, is allow ourselves to daydream a little bit. You know, we kind of go through school and the kids that are daydreaming, they get in trouble. It's like, Timmy, stop daydreaming. Get back to, you know, coloring within the line. Right. Get back to math. But daydreaming is what allows you to start thinking about what's possible. What do I really want? What's going to make my heart skip a beat? And that's an important part of goal setting, because the fact that I want to hear that as the last words before I die doesn't mean that every goal I have now has to do with the children. There are certain goals I have that you may not on the surface hear even my children in them. Like I have a goal to grow Atlanta Divorce Law Group to a certain size. I have a goal for us to be able to achieve a certain amount of impact in the legal community. How does that relate to my children? Well, I believe that achieving those goals will allow me as a mother to be the most fully expressed mother I can be, so I can show up for them with all of my gifts and inspire them to that successful mind. So what are some smaller goals? Like we go back to the older podcast we had episode with you where you talked about habits. You talked about stacking up habits. This is the same thing. You stack up goals that lead to the next one, that lead to the next one, that get you closer to the purpose. And when we're setting these goals, daydreaming is important, because what we tend to do in goal setting is, what's the goal that I think I can actually achieve and it's going to be easy and it will get done? That's what we're used to doing. We want to play it safe so we can actually achieve the goal. But what if you were able to stretch that goal just a few inches away what you believe is possible, just to get your heart racing a little bit, just to get it more exciting and then show yourself what's possible. Not to the point where you give up and you're overwhelmed and you can't do it, but just a small stretch where it's still in the realm of reach, but it goes beyond the level of comfort. And that's the goal setting that will keep you away from, like we talked about earlier podcast, bad habits, that keep you away from shiny object syndrome, that keep you away from feeling the gloom and doom and heaviness of going through the transition like divorce, whereas you're now single mind focused on, I have this goal of traveling, being able to travel the world 2 years from now, right? And I'm super focused on all the things that I have to do in the next 24 months for me to be able to do that. And they might have started from an earlier goal of like, I want to be able to go see New York a year from now. Is that really what you want? And that's the other part. Is that really what I want? Dig deeper. And then, no, actually what I really want to see is the rest of the country. Okay, no, what I really want to see is the rest of the world. Okay, so let's backtrack from that. That's one big tool, is to stretch the dream a little bit and allow that daydreaming to kick in. The other part is that really what you want? Ask yourself that at least 5 times. Is that really what I want? And then the final test that tells you, does this matter with my purpose or not, is, why does this matter?
Yeah.
Why? And don't take the superficial answer you give yourself, but ask yourself that 5 times. Why does it matter that I see the world? Oh, well, because I want to be a cultured person. Why does it matter that I'm a cultured person? Oh, because I want to see more interesting people that will help me develop. Why does it matter that I develop? And go back. And that's where you get to that true heart's desire that will lead to a bigger purpose versus just chasing a shiny object.
I love the way you put it as daydreaming. I really do, because it really is. When we think about daydreaming, it's like you picture somebody just looking off into the clouds thinking of nothing, but they're not thinking of nothing. Yeah. They're thinking of, what made that cloud? Why is that cloud that shape? What happens when that cloud travels? That's what a little child is thinking. For me, when we're talking about daydreaming, one of the things that I like to do, I don't necessarily journal as in I'm writing out every thought, but I like to sit there with a page and I'll start with like a word, like just one word. It may be even just like, what do I want to do this week? What adventure do I want to go on? And I'll write the word adventure. And then I'll start just letting myself think, okay, well, I'd like to do something with water. Okay, so I'm writing water up here. And it's just letting the words come to you until you've realized, oh, this is what's manifesting in me, right?
Yeah.
This is where, and I like the fact that you were like, but why is that manifesting in you? What is the need for adventure? What is that serving in you? Even if it's just serving your soul of relaxation, right? Where is this coming from, and why is that one of your goals? I like that
There's
idea.
so many layers within our daydreams. And if we start asking these questions of why does it matter? And is that real? Is that really what I want? The bigger dream and the real desire and the real purpose starts showing itself up. Because I think a lot of people will hear this and they'll say, well, I don't know what my purpose is.
That's okay.
It's okay. And actually, I mentioned great man David Nagel before. He'll teach you, he's a wonderful mindset coach, and he'll teach you you're always in your purpose. You don't need to go and find it. You're always in your purpose. Your job is to continue to move forward one direction or another and make decisions that continue to make you move forward. A great example of this is I love the documentary that depicts Ralph Lauren. It's called Ralph. And in the end of the documentary, he says the line that makes the whole 3-hour documentary worth it tenfold. And he says, it isn't until I stepped into my initial dream that the bigger dream started revealing itself. Because in the beginning, he just had this small dream of, I believe it was like making men's shirts and ties. And then he created an entire lifestyle brand that dictates our culture. And that wasn't the initial dream he had. That wasn't the initial purpose he had. But taking one step forward to that first little thought, that first little seed, the bigger dream revealed itself, and then a bigger dream, and then this massive empire. Now, whatever that is for you, it's not going to reveal itself on your first vision quest or your first daydream quest.
Right.
Whatever shows up, like Shawna said, water, write that down. Go down that path. That may bring you something else. But going through this curiosity within and staying in a mindset of, I am interested to actually learn more about myself and my daydreams and what my inner self needs when my final moment comes, is an incredibly fascinating journey that will take your mind off a lot of the day-to-day, honestly, crap that you may be dealing with when you're going post-divorce, and give you more of a vision to move forward towards versus running away from a past that, you didn't want.
And even if you're just thinking about that divorce, even if you're going through the divorce, all of the steps of this life-changing thing, and your purpose could very well mean, I want to be happy.
Yeah.
I want to die saying I was happy.
Yes.
And that's perfectly acceptable.
Oh, I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So then if that's your purpose, every decision you make, should I go hang out with these friends tonight?
Is that going to make me happy?
Going to make me happy? That's it. And then the decision is easy.
Yeah.
You forget the obligation, you forget the guilt, you forget the social whatever, and it's just, nope, won't make me happy. And sometimes you need to start there.
Yeah.
And it works. Well, thanks guys for listening. Thanks for listening to the Happily Ever After Divorce Podcast. If you'd like to learn more, go to atlantadivorcelawgroup.com/resources.